Hi, this is a video that's going to cover table selection, hopefully briefly. Um, some guy posted in my thread, said he wanted to know a bit about table selection, so that's what this is. So, alright, so basically all you do is you hover over tables and you look for tables with people under 100 BBs. So everyone here has over 100 BBs, fuck that table, move on. This table has multiple people with under 100 BBs, these two guys. So this is a table we'd be happy to play at. And this guy right here, he's also got under 100 BBs. So, damn. Alright, sorry about that. Roommates came home and I'm just wearing a robe, so figured I ought to close the door. Anyway, so multiple players under 100 BBs. So this is a great table to play at. It's got two of them. And that's really that. And let's see. I'm hydrogen is not under 100 BBs. What happens is if they're in the middle of a hand, it will keep their stack size like lower than it actually is. So it's good to be aware of that. So this, he was probably just a big blind or something, I guess, or something. Anyway, so you just go on. This table looks good. It's got two guys under 100 BBs. This Natan and Didang. And Didang is actually a regular, but he's a shitty regular. He's a fish, but he puts in a lot of hands. That's all there is to it. He's just a fish who plays a lot, and that's good for us. Like, we can PTR him, and he'll die. Alright, we can PTR him, and you'll see that he just losing 10,000 hands in what looks to be 5 days. So like I said, he puts in 2k hands a day, but he's losing money. And I don't think that this will ever turn around. I don't think this is short-term variance, and if it is, it's on the plus side because he's running hot. Because he's just so shitty. So, I mean, that's important to keep an eye on, because basically I'm counting him at a table as like half a fish. So I would play this table if I had position on him or this Natan guy. And I would play, I guess, even if I was in bad position on both of them, even though that's impossible to do due to their spacing. But yeah, so this is a great table. Well, not great, but I mean, it's doable when you're 12 tabling. If you're like 9 tabling, that table you could pass it up, no problem. You're gonna have a lot more offerings, even at FTP, where I did this most of January, and I think I averaged 3 PTBB or something. So, pretty important stuff. That one has two $19 stacks, but I imagine they're just $50 stacks that are in the middle of a hand. Nope. 2 fish. So, you know, good table to be at. 2 fish, this guy, and the Tired Scrub, and Miss Blondica. So, you know, once again, another great table to be at. So that's basically it. That's how you table select. Like I said, you in the thread, it covers it. But 2 fish per table, 1 fish if you have position on him. So that's my requirements when I'm 9 tabling. When I'm 12 tabling, I'm happy as long as there's 1 fish, and hopefully I have position on him. That's really it. I mean, 12 tabling, sometimes you gotta take what you can get. But for the most part, I'm happy with just 1 fish. But I do keep Poker Stars over on my other monitor most of the time, and when there's a lull in the action, it's important to look over and try and make sure that you're on the best tables you can. Every now and then look around, see if there's 5 regs. Let's see, you can color code them like I do. I've got a pretty advanced color coding system here. Let me show you. So we got yellow, which is tag fish, and basically I tag every reg with this because it's 50 NL, everyone's bad. And then running like a Kenyan, that's what I got myself tagged as. It's hopefully to keep my spirits up and keep me running good. Custom label 3 is my fish label. When I set these, I didn't set label 3, and then I don't know how to set it anymore. So that's what I tag people who are like, kind of shit reg fish, kind of like the Dang. He should be tagged with custom label 3, or if they're a fish and I'm not really too certain about it, I'll give them this. And then if they turn out to be an awesome fish, they get actual fish, and then a really great fish, super fish. This one, my bitch, that only goes to some really shitty players. Usually shit regs get this one once I own them. And then short stack, simple, good enough, I don't have to use this one anymore. And then agrotard, which, clearly labels the people who are retarded. I haven't really used that one though. I kind of just keep the tag fish in custom label 3 till I find out how to rename it. Maybe fish, then that's what I'll call it. There's one more quick thing to go over about table selection, and that is, let me see, I'm trying to look for a table with one of these retards on it. There are, I guess I'll just leave it alone, but okay, here's what we'll do. This Fantily, he's actually a shitty reg, I believe. He could also be a shitty fish who's just put in a few hours in the past 2 days. Either way, well, first let's find out. Fantally. Okay, so he's a shitty break-even fish reg. Okay. Here's another thing, I guess. You guys don't really, I'll shrink this down for you. You guys probably don't know about this one. I'm not really a fan of this site. I think it's stupid. I think their tool is stupid. I think everything about it is stupid. But you can actually get people's stats through this. So here, 2118. So he's just a standard bad tag. So that doesn't help. But let's just assume that he was playing like, I don't know, 28, 23. So Fantily, we'll just call him a 28, 23 for the purpose of this. And he 3-bet like 10%. That's kind of the type of person that if they're on your left, that makes the entire table worse. It doesn't matter how many videos you saw of A. Jones or Krantz or, insert name of another, great player whose videos you watch. It doesn't matter what they've said about playing with the toughest players or doing all this stupid bullshit. When you got a person who's like 28, 23, 10% 3-bet on your left, that makes the entire table worse. The amount of money you make at the table goes down when they're at the table. when you have a fish on your right, the amount of money you make goes way up. That's, through the roof. But when you have someone who's going to kind of make your life hell, or at least they're going to put you in some tough spots, and they play pretty aggressively, and they got position on you, that is a shitty situation. You need to keep that in mind. Because you should probably, if there are not two fish at that table, get the fuck off it. Don't fuck around with with letting aggressive players have position on you, because first, whenever anyone has position on you except for a fish, they're making money. They are, they're going to win. They are just going to win, even if they're a shitty reg. If you played them and they had that position at a 5-handed table or a 6-handed table, if they had that position on you and you played at that table for, 100,000 hands, you're going to be losing against them. Or I guess maybe 1,000,000 hands or 2,000,000 hands would give you a better example. But really, there's no chance that you're going to be up money unless they're, worse than break even, unless they're like a -2 BB winner, and they play kind of obvious. You're going to lose money if they're on your left, and it's that simple. If they are at least break even, you're going to lose money if someone is on your left. And so you have to remember that when an aggressive player gets on your left, you're kind of losing a lot of money. Just like, when someone's on your right, you gain a shit ton of money from them, especially if they're a fish. But that amount of money that you can make goes way down when they're a good reg. And so that sort of thing, it's just about it's probably half as important as having position on fish. Because you're not going to lose as much versus an aggressive reg who's on your left as you will gain from having a fish on your right. But just keep it in mind, it's really important. And also, if you're at all prone to tilting, why would you ever put yourself in that situation? You're going to hate life. So don't do that. And yeah, so that's that, two fish at a table. If you're playing 50 NL or lower, at least two fish at your table. If you're playing 9 tables or more, one fish that you have position on at the table is fine. If you're playing 6 tables or less, 2 fish at the table, or 1 fish and 1 shit reg on your left, on your 1 fish on your right and 1 shit reg on your left, the type of break-even type guy. Because that's really about the best player you can get on your left is a break-even guy, besides a fish, of course. I guess the way I talked about it, it might seem like I was saying, you're always losing money when someone's on your left. Well, yes, but you're losing less versus a break-even guy than you are versus an aggressive player. You're also losing a lot less when there's a tag. Even if he's a 5, PTVB winner, you're losing less when that tag's on your left than when there's an aggressive player. Because, most tags that win at 5 PTVB, first, I'm pretty sure they don't exist. I think 4 PTBB is the upper tier of anyone who's played over 200k hands, and doesn't, table select like a fucking madman. But either way, like, if someone's like 18-15, they're not going to cause you near as much trouble as someone who's, 28, 23, because it limits your ability to open when you're up against that 28, 23 type guy. But when you're up against a, 18-15, you're going to be stealing, almost double as many blinds as you would versus the other guy. And blind stealing is where you make a lot of your money. So, anyway, I've rambled about the same thing for too long. Just focus. Fish on your right. 2 fish at the table. If not, for the most part, those should be your standards. So I hope this helped. and I think that's it.